Right, so the route that we're doing today is one we like to call the Twin Peaks Loop because it goes up two little peaks. Not super long, but you know, there's some good climbing in there, some fairly rough descents. So I feel like if anything's gonna shake out on this shakeout ride, it should, and I'll be able to hopefully troubleshoot it. And just to add to the fun, when we get to the top of the first peak, I'm going to put my tent together, which I've only done in practice a couple of times. When I packed this tent, I took out all the structural poles, so it'd be a good test to kind of reassemble it from scratch. Another thing I'm testing is this camera. So this is all audio and video from the Sony, and usually I stick the camera in the top tube bag. What's interesting is the button on this is super responsive, so I opened up the bag and it had been running for I don't know how long. So good thing to figure out now. It's why you test things and generally not do it like how we're doing it. How's your bike?
Wonderful.
Did it live up to all your dreams and expectations?
That's a tall order. Yes, actually. There's probably some nitpicky things I could point to, but overall the ride feel, ride quality is pretty much exactly what I was aiming
for. Yay, climbing. So much climbing. So one thing I am gonna do a little bit different on this trip is I think I might actually wear a heart rate monitor during the event, especially for the first day, just to pace myself and make sure I don't pop. I've got it on now. I'm just trying to find a kind of comfortable climbing pace. All right, here we are, crawling up the hill. Grade is about 9%, just taking a chill. So I modified the stock chainring on this bike last year for the event, just because of all the climbing. It's kind of ridiculously small. I think I have a 32 on it, but there were times, just really glad to have it. I forget exactly how long this climb is. I'm gonna say like 1,200 feet, something like that, close to 1,000. The bike is handling well. I'm actually really digging this packing system. A lot more volume than bike packing, poop bag and handlebar roll, and it just makes more sense to me in terms of organization. Super stoked on it. So what's your favorite thing about the breadwinner so far?
Let me say I have two favorite things. So the first is that it has a basket, but it doesn't feel like it has a basket. So it's there, but you're not flopping everywhere. And the second is that it tracks so beautifully so that I can comfortably go flying down a hill and just feels like, you know, solid, I'm going straight. Two things I haven't had in a bike before. At least not in
the same bike, yeah.
In the same bike, right. You know what else I love about this bike?
But
having a 4630, because here I am spinning uphill and I'm tired and I look back and holy heck, I have like so many more gears. Kind of amazing.
Whereas I, on the other hand, I think I've got 2 more shifts in me. Right, so we've climbed about 956 feet.
Woohoo!
Yay, almost 1,000. Just taking a chill. Up here, it's not quite the salsa chase the chaise. And there could be, it's the Montana version. I think I might lean my bike next to it, but won't touch it. There it is. Kind of gross.
So gross. It was gross like a month ago. It's been sitting there through who knows how many thunderstorms and what kind of animals have been sleeping on it.
Yeah, it looks like a bear made sweet, sweet love to it at some point. down there, you can see where we climbed up from. Pretty amazing that this is like pretty much still in town. Let's see. I think there might be a parking space up here. Cool, little picnic area. Good place for a snack and to set up the tent. Okay, so I've got the Sony strapped onto Laura's handlebar while simultaneously wearing the chest tee. And I'm gonna try to set up the tent as quick as I can because I'm running out of batteries and things. So.
This is the cosplay part.
All right, first step, undo the poles and what have you. So I'm shooting this with a 2 angle just so it's hopefully more interesting. Hopefully this is the right set of poles. Tent body out. So the tricky part's finding out where those things go. So these are the struts that I had to remove to make this more compressible. It's not a big deal. This tent is way quicker to set up when these are on there, but to make it fit in the stuff sack, I have to remove them. So it does take a little bit of patience to find where they go. Time to put in the main ridge. That goes on that end. It's looking good. Where'd the other tent stake go? I heard it drop earlier. I should have dealt with it then. All right, so we had a bit of an adventure. We just spent the last 20 minutes looking for the other stake that fell off, and it fell off in the black bag, caught on my chain ring. So take two. So nice softer ground ish. And then just pull it up and boom, 2 stakes in theory. Oh, jeez. I need a whacking thing. I don't know why I keep doing these things on camera.
Right.
So,
Let me do this thing that I've not done before.
right.
At least this one's not live.
Yeah. It's just how the sausage is made, people. Right, guys, so that's the tent. Pretty cool. I don't know if the GoPro will show it well, but there's actually this strap here which allows you to move the floor of the tent out so you've got more room inside. And it's actually a pretty elegant setup. Aside from losing the stake, I did get hung up a little bit when putting in these structural poles. Usually when it ships, they're in there, but you can remove them to pack it down into a stuff sack. I might experiment with just leaving it in there and just moving weight around because it does add some time. And I can imagine on that first day after 75 miles and lots of climbing that I'm not going to be very coordinated, so it might make it easier on myself. So I'm going to take this down and then we'll go down the rocky descent. Okay, so while we were here and as I was struggling with the tent, Laura found this guy. It's a little mini Rubik's Cube. I'm going to take this as a sign that it should be my mascot. So as one does, you know, packing is a evolutionary process, and you know, I packed it differently on the way up, and I've changed things for the descent. So I figured the convenience of stuffing the tent body into a small pack wasn't worth the pain of putting the struts in at the end of a long day. So what I've done is left the struts in. Laura has nicely wrapped it up, and these are the tent arch. And I've distributed the weight, so it's about the same as before, but now I'm just traveling with the tent in one piece instead of having to do more assembly. The reason I originally took off the struts and put in the stuff sack is because I was still thinking I had bike packing bags where, that's kind of at a premium. But with a carried ice bag, you can just put it under the flap. So another big advantage for this style of packing. We'll see how it holds up on the rocky descent because the descent is going to be a bumpy one. 14% here. Nice little kicker on the loaded bike. Yeah, all right, the top. So now it's time to get bumpy. This will be a really good test of the Erlen rack and all this stuff. Hopefully nothing bounces off. How'd your bike do?
Great.
Yeah? Nothing rattled off?
No, but everything went, had a nice bouncing around party inside this basket bag.
Sweet. Well, you rode behind me a little bit. How'd the rear look?
Sorry, I wasn't paying attention to your rear.
Oh, thanks. thanks for looking out.
I was trying not to, hit a rock too hard.
Well, the tent's still in there.
I mean, following you earlier, it looked fine.
Yeah, there's no rack didn't break. I mean, there's not a whole lot to break. I didn't feel the tire touch the bag at all, so I'm feeling pretty good. I think this might be the better way to go, just to have the tent fully assembled to save the hassle at camp. In terms of the front, I didn't notice the tire hitting. You guys saw how rough it got, so feeling pretty good about that. Cool, so far we've done about 1,400 feet of climbing. We've got one more hill to do, that's another 1,000 feet. But I think I'm gonna end the video here. So thanks for joining us in our bikepacking cosplay, or my bikepacking cosplay. If anything changes, I'll stick it at the end, but if nothing does. So follow along, we'll see how I do at the Ochako Overlander. Again, this is my B-bike. I hate to say that because it's actually a really good ride. But I am supposed to hopefully ride the Bo Jackson by Bear Claw. It's a titanium 650B plus bike. But if I assemble it and it doesn't work with the system, then I'm going to probably go with this, just because that's 4 days and a lot of suffering to endure with a bike that doesn't work. So I think that's it for now. And as always, keep the upside down.